Welcome to the Blue Butterfly Institute's High Tea. This is our fourth High Tea in our fifth year. And we need to do some acknowledgement of dignitaries before we go ahead today. So as I say your name, dignitaries, just feel free to stand up, give the crowd a wave, maybe a bow, little dance, whatever you want. There's no rules. You can do what you like. But our very first one is the State Member for Wollondilly, Judy Hannon, and her Wollondilly Electorate Office Chief of Staff, Louise Edgecombe. Judy, where are you? Up there you are. She gave a little wave. Very low-key, Judy. That's who she is. Next is Wollondilly Shire Council Mayor Matt Gould, Deputy Mayor Matthew Death, and Wollondilly Shire Councillor Susie Brantsetter. Where are you guys? Over the other side. Oh, hello, guys. How are you? And I'm led to believe it's Susie's birthday. Is that true? Happy birthday, Susie. Not here. We'll wish her another one at the end. We'll all sing to her at the end of the afternoon as well. Campbelltown Council Mayor Darcy Lown and Campbelltown Councillors Cameron McEwen, Tower Trebles, and Seta Barbary. Where are you? Over there, Darcy, good to see you. Hawaiian theme ball this year, sir. I love it. Fantastic idea. I don't know if you can tell, I love a Hawaiian shirt. I just call this my formal Hawaiian shirt. And if you need an MC, I'm available. Cheap as well. The Campbelltown Council Mayor, Therese Fideli, and Camden Councillors, Eva Campbell, Eliza Rahman, and Abdusuri. Oh, there you are. I want to apologise for Australia Day. I usually say stupid things on the roundabout. It's not me, it's Wisby. I just want that to be out there. I'm going to throw him under the bus. Wollondilly Women in Business President Nolene Jessup and Cap Priest. Brooke Hilton, Katrina Langhorn, and Chrissy Munchingumbo. Where are you guys? The Wollondilly crew, where are you guys? Good to see you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you coming. Campbelltown Chamber of Commerce President Shafali Pole and Membership Director Glenn Costa. Where are you guys? Where is Shafali? Wonderful over there. Excellent. Communications and Media Advisor for the State Member of Campbelltown, Greg Warren, who sends his apologies. Nicholas, where are you? Greg's not here today. Is there an envelope being opened somewhere? What's happening? Why is he? I'm joking. Our dear friend, Still Our Eyes founder, Trinity Beer, all the way from South Australia. Trinity, where are you? Fabulous. This is a little low-key. So low-key. No one wants to dance, Tina. I don't know what it is. And of course, a very big appreciation and gratitude to our special guest speaker, Ruben Williams, who's here in the room today. Everyone give Ruben a round of applause. I think Ruben wins the award for the person who's travelled furthest to be here today. Ruben's come all the way from Melbourne. Got in this morning. Oh, you reckon South Australia? Did she come here today to be here? Trinity did, yeah, but did she? Well, today. He got here this morning. And a massive acknowledgement of our marketing partner, Rubionics Marketing and Creative, represented by Kirsty Reynolds and Amanda Dennis. Kirsty and Amanda, where are you guys? There you go. Hello, welcome. Thank you. Yeah. And we want to give an acknowledgement to our sponsors as well. We've got some incredible sponsors, and days like this don't happen without a lot of people giving us their time, their energy, their efforts, and of course the money that we need to run events like this. So the enchanted trove, our photographic and video team, including Joel at the back of the room there. Our Mountain Blue Butterflies, JJ Performance Smash Repairs, represented by Brooke Hilton, and apologies from Jason and Michelle. Brooke, where are you? She's not here. She's apologised as well. That's okay. That means more food for us. Yes, that's good. I'll eat her share. The Dawn Therapeutic Services, represented by Principal Therapist Nicole Stutz. Where are you, Nicole? Wonderful. Look, later on we're going to do a bit of speed therapy, so we'll just set you up in the room. 60 seconds. Everyone gets 60 seconds with Nicole. You need to figure out all of their issues and get them on the right track in that time. Let's see how we go. Our Blue Moon Butterflies, Tailored Funerals. Karen Taylor, I saw Karen here today. For those of you that were here last year, yes, well worth a round of applause. Karen actually married my wife and I 16 years ago. Oh no, 14 years ago. Don't tell anyone don't tell my wife I forgot my wedding anniversary. Oh no, she knows. And yes, my wife still hasn't forgiven Karen for that, so here we go. Gotcha Boo, represented by Natasha Boyce at the back of the room, our other birthday room, a birthday person, there she is. Everybody, Natasha turned 50 this year. Give Natasha a round of applause. Just a few days ago, actually. That's why we're rounding of applauding her. I want to give a couple more acknowledgements as well. Fee and Rose, they've been up here on stage with me and they'll be up here on stage again. They're our musical act. Give those guys a great big round of applause. Or just give them a mild round of applause. It's up to you. We don't mind. That's how much they all like you, Fee and Rose. They just... It's all right. And of course, Big Yellow Umbrella, Stay Safe, Self-Defence, the Bath House and Maverick Supports. Or big thank you to you guys for your supports as well. Some apologies, our wonderful ambassador, Alison Braydado, she could not be here today. The Honourable Angus Taylor, member for Hume. The Honourable Dr Mike Freelander, member for Macarthur. The Honourable Sally Quinnell, member for Camden. And the Honourable Jodie Harrison, Minister for Prevention of Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. All invited, all unfortunately able to attend, but we thank them for their support. So that's enough for me talking for just a little bit, because I'm going to come back and talk again in a little while. But in the meantime, actually before we do that, can we just give a big round of applause to all of our sponsors and all of our supporters? A huge round of applause, please. Absolutely fabulous. But now to introduce the committee and the board of the Blue Butterfly Institute, could you please welcome the founder, the president, and some say the spiritual heart, definitely my spirit animal, Tina Meyer.
You did not just call me an animal. We usually do these things at the end. I like doing them at the beginning whilst we've still got your attention, but also because the people who work for us are phenomenal human beings who donate all of their time to organise things like this, to support our clients, to get our name out there, to do everything they possibly can to get lots of exposure for us so that we can get lots of support to help so many vulnerable people in our community and beyond. So I really would like these people to stand up, obviously myself, but my Vice President and Publicity Officer, Cara. Where is she? Perfect. Our Secretary, Tia. Most of you know Tia because there's not many people that don't in Australia. Our Treasurer, Natasha. I don't know where anyone's sitting, sorry, thank you. Therapeutic Coordinator, Claire. Cocoon Support Group Facilitator, Naomi. Unfortunately, Ruby's sick, but she usually facilitates our podcast. Board Support and Empowered Voices, Talia. Networking and Community Outreach, April. Merchandise, Adeline. Clinical Supervisors, Josephine and Trudy. Our committee... Did Trudy stand up with you just then? No, she did not. Oh. They make sure the rest of us stay sane when we're doing our therapy with people. And that's debatable then how successful they are with me, but we'll, time. Our General Committee members, Sharon, Sam, Jess, Ash and Hannah. And a big thank you to our therapeutic team, not already mentioned, Linz, Adele, Angel, Arcee, Cindy, Dominic and Fiona. So if you can give all those people a round of applause, thank you. And now back, to Cara. Sorry, Cara. I really have no idea where I am. Cara will introduce our first speaker to you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Cara, I'm the Vice President of the Blue Butterfly, and today I've got the privilege of introducing our very next speaker, Mr. Adam Holstien. Adam is a highly respected disability and mental health professional with almost 30 years of frontline support, leadership and training and staff development experience across the community sector. Beyond the training room, Adam is an engaging MC, as you've all seen today, facilitator, podcast and presenter. He has hosted and facilitated events for organisations including MS Australia and South West Sydney Primary Health Network, Macarthur Lions Club, along numerous local councils and community organisations, and a place called the Blue Butterfly Institute. In 2017, Adam started a mental health and suicide awareness initiative called How You Going, Mate? The aim of this initiative is to encourage people to check in on their friends and family who are managing a mental health issue rather than waiting for them to make contact first. He calls this active support for mental health. In 2019, he also started a podcast about mental health, also called How You Going, Mate, that has nearly 20,000 listeners and has also been listened to across the world. Adam has several great loves in his life. They are his wife, his daughters, Batman, the Parramatta Eels, which we won't hold against him, his dog Daisy, probably the first one, and Chinese food. Not always in that order, obviously, and Adam is known for his authentic, humorous style, practical insight, and unwavering commitment to strengthening the capability and confidence of those around him. It's a privilege to call Adam my friend, and I introduce him to you this morning.
I love that you're taller than me. I love that she's taller than me. I've got a tall daughter, and I just always say to her, you'll be like Cara one day. You'll be fine. Yes, I included the few little bits and pieces. I do love the Parramatta Eels. Thank you for mocking me. I feel like I'm in a safe space. I always say it teaches you two things about me: understand loyalty and understand pain. I got that from, I've been reading some stuff by Ben Crow recently. Ben Crow is a sporting guru, works with Ash Barty and a few of those types of people, helps them with their mindset. He's a mindset coach. And he mentioned about how we introduce ourselves to people, and it's often status or where we live or where we come from. What if we just introduce ourselves with our favourite things? So yes, I love my wife and children. They're the great loves of my life. I love Batman. He's been the great love of my life since I was like about 5. I love Chinese food, love the Parramatta Eels, and I love my dog Daisy. Daisy's a canine love of my life, and I was the dad that didn't want a dog. You know that one? So what I want you guys to do as you walk around today when you introduce yourselves, rather than saying, hey, where you come from or what do you do for a job, ask them, what's your favourite type of food? Do you have a dog? What do you love? What are you passionate about? What do you want to, what are the things that you know? Look, one of the things I should have said, and I'll say this as before I give my speech today, is you'll hear some stuff today that is pretty heavy. It's conversations we don't normally have, topics we don't normally talk about. If you need to take a few minutes outside, please by all means do that. If you need to touch base with someone, by all means do that. And at the end of today, go and do something nice for yourself. If it's a bit heavy and it's getting a bit on top of you, go do something nice for yourself, something that'll release you. Even if you just spend 15 minutes out in the sun going for a walk, just do something nice for yourself. If you do need to leave the room and you need some support, by all means, let us know and we'll have someone come out and make sure you're okay. If you're just going to the toilet, just let us know as well, because we don't want to follow you into the toilet. That's creepy. So if you could just give us one of these ones, which is the sign for toilet, that'd be great. A couple of months ago, told you I'd say something stupid. A couple of months ago, Tina sends me a message, as she does around March every year, and says, hey, are you good to go for May? Yes, I am, absolutely. And she says, in this message, she said, oh, by the way, you're going to give a 15-minute talk. Oh, okay, that's fine, no problem. Well, I don't know why it made me nervous, because I spent the whole day talking to you people, but it usually just strikes a little bit of fear into my heart. And I spent a little bit of time thinking about what I would say, how I would put it, the stories I'd tell. And then a documentary came out about a man named Richard Russell. The universe often gives us these things, says, here's what you need to mention, here's what you need to talk about. Has anyone heard of Richard Russell? Show of hands, have you heard of him? You might have heard of him by his other name, the Sky King. Have you heard of the Sky King? No? Okay. So Richard Russell, about 10 years ago, back in August 2018 to be exact, he was an airline employee who stole a commercial airliner and flew it around the Seattle, Washington area for about an hour. All right? There was no one on the airliner. He was just doing his thing. No flying experience, and I noticed today we're selling a flight simulator experience. Apparently Richard Russell taught himself to fly on flight simulators at the airport. Please no one steal a commercial airliner after this today. The Institutes of Insurance cannot afford that. Richard's nickname became the Sky King. It was a nickname the internet gave him. His nickname to his family was Bebo. And by all accounts, Bebo was well-liked and kind and thoughtful and funny. And one day he stole an airplane. Yeah, and eventually he crash landed the airplane into an island. He was the only person on the plane and there were no survivors. No one else was injured or killed. They did initially think it was an act of domestic terrorism. They ruled that out fairly quickly. But if you watch the documentary, it's on Netflix and it's really quite interesting to watch. There's a quote in the documentary where Bebo says, "I'm just a broken guy, got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it till now." And sometimes when you hear things, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you hear things that resonates with you, because two things struck me. In the documentary, they spoke to his family, his brothers, his sisters, his mum, his auntie, and all of them, to a T, talked about how kind and thoughtful and nice he was, but all of them, to a T, also said, we had no idea that he was feeling that way. We had no idea that he was going to do what he did. We had no idea that he wanted to end his life. And the second thing that struck me was when I heard him talk about having a few screws loose. It made me think that he'd never actually said that out loud until then, which meant he probably had no one to talk to, which means he probably had never ever spoken to anyone about how he was feeling before. So when I thought about what I was going to talk about today, I thought, that's perfect. The point of my podcast was to have an opportunity for people to talk, but more importantly, an opportunity for people to listen and maybe hear their story and maybe realise that that was something that they could relate to. So this process of saying this out loud, often most of us sit inside our own heads, just going over and over things, but the process is called effect labelling, or verbal grounding, depending on which version of it you read. And basically it's saying the words inside your head out loud, particularly the things that you're scared of or you're emotional about. But when we do that, it reduces the amygdala activity, and the amygdala is a part of your brain that feels stress and fear. That's where that response comes from. So when we reduce that amygdala activity, it actually makes the emotion feel a little bit less overwhelming. There's also a little touch of cognitive reframing in there. Cognitive reframing slows down your thoughts, which helps break out of the negative loops and then find some constructive solutions. So just a little bit of science for you now. We speak at around about 130 words a minute, but we can listen at 450 words a minute. So we can listen a lot more than we can actually talk. And the current estimates say that we could think at up to 4,000 words a minute. But generally speaking, they think it's about 400 to 800 words a minute that we think at. That leaves a lot of room for thoughts to be just pulsating through your head, and if they're uncontrolled, that 4,000 words a minute becomes really possible. So as I said, saying it out loud slows it down. So maybe we need to give men the tools that they need to stay in the conversation and to have the conversation. By the way, about 95% of those thoughts that you have, we have around about 12 to 16,000 thoughts a day, and about 95% of those are the same as the day before. Do I need to go to the toilet? Should I have another glass of wine? Is this guy really boring? All that sort of stuff. About 80% of those thoughts are negative every single day. Now, that your brain's designed to do that. That's not a bad thing. It's actually built to be negative because it's designed to keep you alive. But if we're just sitting inside our own heads and only thinking about it and never saying these things out loud, that's where the issues start. So let's talk about men. Not in a who has it harder kind of way. I want to talk about men as we actually meet them. In their lounge rooms, in workplaces, in pubs and clubs, in sporting organisations, at 10 o'clock at night when everyone else has gone to bed and they're sitting alone. Because here's what I've noticed. Men carry an extraordinary amount of pain, as long as nobody asks them to describe it. They'll work through it, drink through it, laugh through it, get angry through it, stay busy through it, but describe it, sit with it, name it, no, we're not going to do that. In Australia, we know the statistics around suicide and mental health, and we know the statistics around men and suicide. We talk about them every year around campaigns like Are You OK Day and through organisations like Beyond Blue, but numbers are only part of the story. What we don't talk about enough is the trauma that men carry. And trauma doesn't always look like what people think it looks like. It's not just catastrophic events. It isn't just the things that make the headlines, as you all know. Trauma can be growing up in a household where anger was normal, being the kid that had to grow up too fast, or living through domestic violence. It could be being assaulted and never telling anybody, losing a child, attending accidents as a first responder, and working in systems where you absorb everyone else's crisis. But here's the key. A lot of men survive these things by shutting down. And shutting down works amazingly until it doesn't, until it stops working. As boys, we're taught directly or indirectly, well, emotions are dangerous, sadness is weak, fear is pathetic, and vulnerability is risky. So what's left? Anger, silence, humour. Certainly a tool I use on a pretty regular basis. And over time, the emotional narrowing becomes identity. Oh, he's just a cranky bloke. He doesn't like to talk. He's all right. It's just who he is. Most of us probably grew up with a cranky uncle that we all kind of went, oh, geez, I hate going and visiting Uncle Kevin. But as adults, we've kind of grown to realise that Uncle Kevin was probably carrying some stuff. Fine is not a code for functioning, and functioning is not the same as being well. In the work that we do, whether that's disability support, mental health support, community services, or even just being a friend, we see something important. Men don't lack feelings. Men lack the language to describe those feelings. No one taught them how to translate what's happening inside. So instead of saying I'm overwhelmed and I don't feel safe in my own head, it comes out as I'm just tired, a bit pissed off, had a bad day, everyone's incompetent, just leave me alone, I'll be all right. If we only listen for the polished version of vulnerability, for the right words, we'll miss the real thing. Being part of the conversation about men's mental health doesn't mean forcing men to take part in ways that feel unnatural. It means widening the doorway. Some men will open up while driving, some will open up while watching the footy, some will be working shoulder to shoulder, and some will test the water with a bit of a joke before they tell you the truth. Some will open a champagne bottle, who knows? But here's something important for workers and families alike, friends as well. When a man finally says something real, even if it's clumsy, he's watching your reaction very closely. If he gets minimised, corrected, laughed at, or rushed to a solution, that door closes, and it closes quick. If he gets calm, steady, accepting presence, that door stays open. The key here is listening, and listening is very much a choice. Sometimes the most powerful response is simply, yeah, that sounds heavy, or I'm glad you told me. You don't have to carry it alone. I'm here with you. No fixing, no diagnosing, no saying and just staying and listening. But there's another side to the conversation. Men are often expected to be the stable one, the provider, the protector, the one who doesn't wobble. But when trauma hits, and it will, job loss, relationship breakdown, financial pressure, grief, things I like to call disorder events that we all have in our life, it attacks that very identity. Not just I'm struggling, but who am I if I can't hold this together? And that's not weakness, that's existential fear. Who am I? And if we ignore that layer, we miss the depth of what's happening. So here's the thing I care about the most. This conversation isn't about turning men into something they're not. It's about allowing men to be whole, strong and struggling, capable and overwhelmed, reliable and needing support. Strength and vulnerability are not opposites, they're partners. It takes strength to go to work every day. It takes strength to say I'm not doing well. And for a lot of men, that second one is much harder than the first one. Nearly skipped a page. If you're listening to this as someone who's supporting a man, personally or professionally, here's the reflection. Are we creating spaces where men can speak without being ashamed? Are we interpreting anger as information instead of just behaviour? Are we curious about shutdown instead of frustrated by it? And are we actually listening without judgment? And if you're listening as a man yourself, you don't have to become someone else. You don't have to overshare. You don't have to cry on demand. But you do have to stop pretending that nothing affects you, because it does. It affects all of us. And it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, I'm not doing well. The conversation about men and mental health is not about blame, it's about responsibility. That responsibility to check in on your mates. Responsibility to model honesty for your kids. Responsibility to ask for help before crisis becomes catastrophe. And every time a man tells the truth about what he's carrying, even in small pieces, it chips away at generations of silence. And silence can be heavy. Cara very graciously mentioned active support for mental health. We started How You Going, Mate in response to a friend of mine who was a victim survivor taking his own life back in 2017. And for me, the message has always been the same. It's about recognising when someone needs support and seeing an opportunity to give real, substantial and practical support to that person, and giving that support without encouraging them to ask for it, expecting them to ask for it, or waiting for them to ask for it. You've all said it. I'm here if you need me. Just give me a call. I'm only a phone call away. Active support, instead of saying instead of saying I'm here, what do you need? Instead of I'm here if you need me. Active support is starting a conversation and taking action to support someone to manage their mental health. Active support is about connecting with someone when they can't connect with anyone or anything else. So let's keep talking, let's keep having the conversations, let's keep listening, and let's keep listening differently. Let's keep building spaces where men don't have to choose between being respected and being real. The goal isn't softer men. Don't worry, you don't have to suddenly start watching The Notebook and liking it. Can nobody tell my wife I don't like it, by the way? The goal isn't softer men, it's safer men, healthier men and whole men. And I think that's a conversation worth having. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.